See, wherever I go, stay ready, stay alert, always prepared for whatever. I see you. There's a seat right here. You can see from all angles. I'm ready. It's time to get down to business. Game time.
Hi, honey. I know you just made it to the library, but love of my life, my hero, my lion, you forgot your A game. So come home, take it, and then you can go and conquer the world, black man. Oh, and one more thing. Would it kill you to just wear some socks? I'm just saying. Love you. And can you bring home some milk?
Oh, man. She can kill it. Okay, I'll go back. I'm gonna get my A game. I'm not putting them socks on. I'm good. I'm fly. I'm fresh. I'm gonna stop at 7-Eleven and get some milk.
The Black Manosphere magazine is a physical and digital publication made exclusively for black men, black boys, and our supporters. This special edition consists of a core glossary with over 150 words and concepts used in the Black Manosphere. This special edition also takes an in-depth look at the purpose of the Black Manosphere, the most important challenges we face as black men, and solutions to collectively improve these issues with an annual report card to measure our progress. Let's face it, black men are horribly represented in media, and we're changing that. So on behalf of our team and contributors, thank you for your support.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, usually I have some type of video or something for you, but not this time. This time, I just want to talk to the ladies. We're understanding how black women lost their integrity. A lot of times in this space, we hear about how women don't have principles, women don't have any honor, women don't have any type of morality or integrity or anything of that nature. And since we're in the Black Manosphere, of course, this is directed at black women. So I'm also directing what I'm saying, as usual, to my sisters, to black women. And I just wanted to come here today to sort of kind of go over, because yesterday we began to cover what I call the lost value system. And we're going to discover a lot of things about how we've ended up in the place that we've ended up in this society. And much of that is not going to be a pleasant thing to understand or to hear, but it will be real. It will be edifying and educational, and something that we actually are going to need to understand in order to actually move forward and in order to correct our situation. So the first thing that we have to understand is that due to this lost value system, and this is what I'm talking about, due to this lost value system, as we can see, wealth is at the very top. Let me move something. Wealth is at the very top of this. inverted triangle, and spiritual is at the very bottom. And the vast majority of us who are born here in this country are born into a lost value system. Now, there are some exceptions to this. You know, if you already have a spiritual system or what have you, that is the opposite of this, then you probably didn't grow up necessarily being inundated with this lost value system. But at the same time, most of us don't have or didn't have that opportunity. So the one thing that we need to understand is that we were born into a system where wealth is at the top and literally is worshipped. Spiritual self is at the bottom. And if you notice, it says spiritual, and right next to it, it says no truth. Black women are taught or not taught at a young age anything about her spiritual value. We're not taught that. We're not taught to have integrity in the first place. We're not really taught to have moral code, or that we need it in the first place. In point of fact, as our society has moved more into feminism and more into a gynocratic state, it became less and less important for women to have internal values that began with her spiritual value, that she was taught in the home that she's supposed to be a woman and she's supposed to be a lady, and this is how she's supposed to carry herself as a decent human being, even before she grows into that lady or into that woman. So Black women are not taught in our households this sort of moral code that we're supposed to have. What we're taught early on is the pursuit, when we're able to understand it, right when we're able to understand it. We're taught the pursuit to wealth. But even before we're taught to pursue wealth, we are taught entitlement through feminist teaching. And we really get that from our mothers. We're taught entitlement. We're taught that girls don't have accountability and girls don't have responsibility for the things that they do, the things that go on with them. We're constantly told and taught that, you know, whatever we're going through or whatever's happening to us in life, there's always a scapegoat. There's always some other entity or some other external force or some other person, usually a man or a boy, that is influencing our environment or influencing what's going on with us, or flat out manipulating us into situations. And this is how we get into them. So we're taught early a victimhood mindset. We're taught that girls are not really responsible for their own lives or for the things that are going on with them, the choices they make, the decisions that they make. So this is all kind of rooted in your spiritual value, because those moral codes and those principles all encompass things like accountability and responsibility, and it tamps down on having a whole lot of entitlement and all of this sort of thing. Because when you're entitled, basically you feel like I can do what I want to do and I shouldn't have any consequences and I shouldn't have any type of repercussions for any of the decisions that I make, because I can always point here and there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's a whole cat fight happening outside. But anyway, we can point out here and there, you know, who did this to me and who did that to me and who manipulated me into the situation. And this is why I made the decision that I made. And this is why I did what I did. We can always kind of point back to someone else or something else that influenced us, and we quote unquote didn't have a choice other than to do what we were trying to do, or other than to do what we did. And so from the jump street, what I'm trying to say is that we are not taught, Black women are not taught anything about integrity. If she didn't grow up in a strictly Christian household or a strictly Muslim household or some other household where a different value system was taught to her from the beginning, if she just kind of grew up, she was taught this value system. She was taught that system. And in that system, there's nothing in it that says you've got to be a worthy person or that you've got to be a valuable person or that you have to even be a good person. Spirituality, again, is way at the bottom. You can barely see it. And that's how it is in this lost value system. Your spirituality, who you are at the core, is so small you can barely see it. And so if you can barely see it, you're certainly not going to act upon it. You're not going to act as if you have integrity that you don't have, which is rooted in your spiritual value. When you're coming up in a lost value system, that's out of there. Anything spiritual, anything that makes you a better person or is designed to make you some sort of better person is out of there. So now, the first thing that we're taught before we're taught about how to pursue wealth, we're actually, as Black women, we're taught about feminist ideas. We're taught about entitlement. It gives us a sense of entitlement where we can pretty much do what we want to do because we're girls. Because even as little girls, we learn things like I can smack a boy across his face and he had better not hit me because boys aren't supposed to hit girls. So right then and there, we're taught even as little kids that I can do an action that normally would have violent consequences for other people. But because I'm a girl, I should not receive those consequences. So I can actually perform an action that would get anybody else into a fight. And if I do that action, particularly to a boy, he had better not give me any repercussions. He had better not do any of this. So that creates in a girl that sense of entitlement. Oh, I can get away with stuff based on me being a girl, right? I can get away with stuff. And see, this is one of the dangers of living in a gynocratic society, in a gynocentric society, in a feminist-driven society. So then when we get old enough to start understanding things past like a toddler level, then we get told that we need to do things in pursuit of money. We need to do things, and it doesn't matter what we do in that pursuit. So if you want the girl to kind of keep some type of, you know what I'm saying, goodness about herself or just don't put herself out there completely bad, you'll tell her she needs to get an education in order to get a good profession, in order to get wealth, right? But then on the way to wealth, Black women learn that there is no price that's too high to pay in pursuit of that wealth. So we're able to just kind of dish away the integrity that we were never taught. So we're able, and it's supposed to be looked over when we set people up, when we sell our bodies or sell sexual favors to get money, when we sleep our way to the top. You know, if we sleep around in certain circles in order to get put on. So like if you want to be a rapper or a singer, you know, nobody is supposed to look at a woman cockeyed or side-eyed if she sleeps with all of the producers or sleeps with a well-known rapper so that he can actually give her the connections in the industry so that she can try to make her way in the industry. There's plenty of women that are going through that process as we speak and who never actually make it. All that they succeed in doing is being industry jump offs. And the only redemption she can get for being a jump off is to get the bag. It's like, if I'm going to be a jump off, if I'm going to sell my integrity, if I'm going to sell myself, if I'm going to go against every principle, every moral, everything that I was ever taught about how to be a good person, how to be a good woman, what makes a good woman. If I got to go against all of that, if I'm going to go against all of that, then I might as well. The only way that I can justify doing it is wealth. That's the only thing that actually smooths that over. Because if I do all of that and then don't come up with a bag, then I have basically done all of that for nothing. And then I still end up feeling like a piece of crap because that's what I did. So in a lost value system, wealth covers everything. Wealth is the foundation for everything upon which everything else stands. And if you don't stand on wealth, if you don't come up with wealth first or whatever, then everything that you did underneath that is useless. It's considered to be useless. And the most useless thing of all that you can do and then don't get wealth behind it is be a moral person. Have some type of integrity, have some type of moral code or principle that you live by. In other words, have some type of spiritual value. If you had spiritual value and then you ended up in your life not becoming monetarily wealthy, everybody that looks at your life is going to say, well, you couldn't succeed because you wouldn't let go of those stupid morals that you had. You couldn't let that go. You couldn't sell yourself. So therefore, you didn't get any money. And since you didn't get any money, you're a useless, worthless individual underneath the lost value system. So in the pursuit of wealth, there is no cost too high for Black women. This is how we end up not having any integrity. This is how Black women end up being able to lie, cheat, scam, steal, scheme, finesse people, set people up, sell her body, sell sexual favors, sell other people's sexual favors, all of this other kind of stuff. This is how she's able to do that and then justify it. Because it's all in the pursuit of wealth, right? Cardi B admitted to drugging men and robbing them, but she was on her way to wealth. Now that she's wealthy, she's valuable. So nobody's going to go after her. Nobody's going to bring up a case for her like they did for Bill Cosby. Nobody's going to do that in this gynocentric situation. And under a lost value system, a woman like Cardi B is extremely valuable because why? She's wealthy and her husband is wealthy. So she got the bag 2 times over. So nobody's going to come for her for saying what she said. She can pretty much do anything. She can involve herself in pretty much any amount of debauchery that she wants to. As long as she maintains that money and that status, she's untouchable. Especially being a woman in this society under a lost value system, she's untouchable. It doesn't matter that she stripped. It doesn't matter that she was a prostitute at one time. It doesn't matter that she was drugging men and robbing them. All of that is swept under the rug because why? She made it. She quote unquote made it. She was able to hit it big. So nobody cares. Nobody cares about the immoral, unethical things that she involved herself in, which would degrade any other woman in any other society, under any other value system. A woman like her would never be looked at or looked up to as someone to aspire to. Never in a million years. Just the prostitution alone would have disqualified her. But under this lost value system, the prostitution was like, hey, I mean, she was able to sell something to get something. And surely you can't be held to task for that. And even you can sweep under the rug, dealing with them men the way she did. Drug them and then go run their pockets. Because why? She was just trying to eat. She was just trying to get some money. She was just trying to survive. You see what I'm saying? So there's no integrity there. This all comes from this lost value system. That's how Black women lost their integrity. That's how they became this group of women that's not trustworthy. You can't trust no person that don't got no spiritual value. They're not trustworthy because trustworthiness comes from the spiritual value. And under the lost value system, that's way at the bottom, teeny little piece. Be trustworthy for what? Be trustworthy so you can miss out on all of this money that's there to be made? See, what they don't tell you is this system don't work but for a few people. The system don't work for everybody. They fool the masses into thinking that they can get this wealth, that they can, if they just work a little harder, or if they just become more unethical, or if they just sell more of their spiritual value, if they just sacrifice more of who they are internally, they'll be able to get to the top, because getting to the top under the lost value system requires that you don't have morals and ethics. Morals is under the biology. Ethics is under culture. So you sell your body and then you sell your culture out. Ain't that what Black women did? The body was sold out and then the culture got sold out. The morals and the ethics. See what I'm saying? See what I did there? If you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, take a look at this. Biology is the morals. Culture is the ethics. Environment are the laws, but we just paying attention to the first two. Right? This is how you get Black women that will sell that biological piece, sell her sex. She'll sell the image of her sex as well. So when you get OnlyFans that's not actually having sex with somebody and she's just a webcam girl, she's selling the appearance and the image of her sex, which still is her biological self. That's her internal self. That's part of the internal, your appearance, which developed into, since the biology got changed, well, you almost look at it as an ethical thing to do. Well, at least she ain't killing nobody. She's consenting adult. She's grown. Everybody involved, supposedly, hopefully, is a consenting adult. So they ain't killing nobody. So, hey, how can it really be unethical? Then it become part of the culture. OnlyFans is part of the culture now. It might be a subculture type of thing, but it's in there. And nobody kind of looks at it as really unethical. At least they ain't hurt nobody. Hey, she want to be on her webcam. She grown. Is she legal? Yeah, well, hey, she ain't really she don't have to have no integrity because she's trying to get money. Because the wealth is the God. That's the goal. That's the foundation upon which the lost value system is standing. What people don't understand is it's tenuous at best. Anything can crumble it. Anything that threatens the wealth can make the lost value system crumble. Why do you think that when the economy is in trouble, they don't bail the people out, they bail the institutions out? They're not going to bail you out, but they'll bail the bank out. Because, see, you suffering underneath it actually helps the lost value system stand. The institution gotta stand in order for the system to stand. So they'll sacrifice you so that the lost value system can stay put. That's why when the credit bubble burst and the housing bubble and all that kind of stuff, they bailed it out. Fannie Mae, they bailed it out. Come on. We're not bailing you out. So what if you got to be homeless? You want some money? Sell yourself. Sell some part of you to get some money. We don't care what you have to do. Because this is the land of opportunity, ain't it? Right? Everybody can get a piece of the American pie. Everybody can have the American dream. You just got to be willing to go lower than the next person. You got to be willing to sell more of yourself than the next person. You got to be willing to be more unethical, more immoral than the next person. And then you can be more successful than the next person. Right? So do we agree? Is this how Black women lost their integrity? Sound off in the comment section for me. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.